Rajan B5S4, welcome to the Wolfpack family. I see you just joined, but I see you evidently probably have been here, but you probably redid your membership. You got a blue badge. Definitely, if you just joined, you'd have that beige badge. Big shout out. We got big news that breaks in Formula One as we are in the midst of a triple header. Formula One, remember, the FIA had already approved the entry of GM, Cadillac, and Andretti as far as joining Formula One. They put their stamp on that. Formula One did not put their stamp on that, okay? So we have to keep that in mind. Formula One was not part of saying, you know what, this is something that we want to do, that we want to accept this team coming into Formula One, and we want the competition. They were more of the adverse side. They were more like, we don't want the competition. And a lot of us took it as a bit of disrespect. We took it as, you all are running from the idea of splitting the pot. You don't want other teams to come in here and outdo you. And so now you just want to keep other teams from getting in. Well, we can't say that anymore. And the reason why we can't say that anymore is because it was seen that as of recently that Formula One has signed off on it. Formula One has signed off on, and not, let me be very, very precise when I say this, not Andretti. I did not see that they signed off on Andretti joining Formula One, which is very interesting to me. Now, of course, this is all new. Of course, other things could have happened. Other things could be happening right now as I speak. Other things may have already happened. But what I did see in this article that I'm going to show you, which you may have seen, what's up, ADVR, Carlos, Baraka, Silvio and Kelly, Les 430. We got Bajan, we got Dave's Quattro. We're going to watch right here that Formula One announces today that it has reached an agreement in principle with General Motors to support bringing GM Cadillac as the 11th team to Formula One grid in 2026. 2026. Do you know what this means, people? If this actually does happen, if everything goes through, everything lines up, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, all the X's are crossed, everything is checked out. Because remember, we were supposed to have Porsche. And then Porsche fell off the face of the earth. I believe they just wanted to make sure they secured the Audi deal for their end manufacturer, partner, brother, sister, however you want to look at it. And then they bounced. Porsche didn't come back. Red Bull was scared. They wasn't going to give Red Bull the leverage. They were like, we're the real racing team. So we don't see Porsche. But right now, we may actually have an American team that is truly American, that represents America, that develops cars in America, that doesn't just have a P.O. box in the Carolinas somewhere in America, but a real grassroots grown American manufacturer. Now I know my boy Baraka. I know he said he team Toyota. I don't know if this changes anything for Baraka, knowing that we will have a true American. I might go out and buy a G-body General Motors car this weekend just because this shit gets me that excited. My dream car is a 63, 64 Impala. If anybody can find that for under $20,000 and, you know, we can make that happen, and let me know. You know, I'll do it. I'll be grinding, hustling my ass off. You know, I get an extra job, pay for that car. But it's about time. It is about time. So I'm going to go into this, what I want to say, just a second. So as we see right here, it says Formula One has maintained a dialogue with General Motors and its partners at the TWG Global regarding the visibility and the entry following the commercial assessment and decisions made by Formula One in January 2024. Over the course of this year, they have achieved operational milestones and made clear their commitment to brand the 11th team, General Motors Cadillac. That right there speaks to what you see right here, likely being the problem. We don't want it branded Andretti Cadillac. I think the whole problem was they didn't want Andretti. Now, I don't know if Michael rubbed them the wrong way with his petition. I don't know if Michael Andretti rubbed them the wrong way with many other things that he did. We know Michael Andretti stepped away from his role within the Andretti Global Group. And I think it maybe at that part of time, we thought that it may have been a move to facilitate a deal because they were like, listen, as long as that guy is going to be in a position of authority or decision making, we will not come to terms with you. Michael Andretti will have to step down, step away, get out of here. So we saw that happen. And some of us anticipated, okay, now that this, remember what I told you, when pieces like that fall, something is happening. Pieces like that don't happen. Like CEOs, CFOs, VPs, presidents of companies don't just resign for nothing. Something has to be taking place, okay? And now we know something was taking place. Now, we don't know if maybe, hey, that all of that was in the mix, but evidently there were some workings and finagling going on. And I think Andretti was trying to find a way to salvage the ability for their name to be part of this entry that they knew was in the horizons. Because I'm pretty sure General Motors talked to them about it. I'm pretty sure General Motors let them know, like, hey, we're still in talks with Formula One. They've given us a list of things they want done. We're going to check them off. You may not be able to be part of this package deal. They don't want you. And we want to go ahead and get in there. We want a true American team, American manufacturer, American power unit, American branding to be in Formula One to represent America, not Haas, because Haas is Haas, although Haas has been doing better, okay? Haas has been doing better. So when it comes to that, we get up here and we'll see that right in here, it says that with Formula One's continued growth plans in the United States, we have always believed that welcoming an impressive U.S. brand like GM Cadillac to the grid and GM as a future power unit supplier could bring additional value and interest to the sport. We credit the leadership of General Motors and their partners with significant progress in their readiness to enter Formula One. We are excited to move forward with the application process for the General Motors Cadillac team to enter the championship in 2026, baby. 2026. New regulations. They got plenty of time to work on things. I mean, I'll say plenty of time, that's relative. They've probably been working for a little while, but they got 2 years. They got 2 years to get something formidable. So that means we're going to have Audi coming. We already got Ferrari out here. We got Mercedes out here. What do I no need to talk about Alpine, but now we're going to have Chevy out here, General Motors out here. I'm just telling you, don't forget about the power unit entry of Ford with Red Bull, which we're going to watch that crumble. I do not believe Ford is going to be a formidable power unit. I think it's just going to be an overbadging. They're going to use a lot of IP from the Honda era that they learned from. I do not think Ford is coming in here with a Ford truly developed power unit, manufactured by Ford, designed by Ford, no implementation of the Honda whatsoever. I don't believe it. If you see that Ford motor hit this grid and it performs, it's IP from Honda. Ford does not perform well at the racetrack. It does not perform well at drag tracks. If you want to go rally, then go do rally. But when it comes to putting horsepower to the ground consistently for durations on end, it's not Ford. It's not Ford. So I'm telling you, this now, I also want to say we kind of got to be a little bit careful, right? Because we don't know how some of these things are going to unfold. Nasty Sue says, how successful do you think General Motors will be? This is what I'll say, Nasty Stu. I don't know if they're going to be very successful in the beginning at all. In Formula One, nobody just hits the ground running and takes off in his top three team just right out of the gate. You know, like everybody starts together. Somebody's got to be top three. But when you have teams that have been at this for decades, like Mercedes, like Ferrari, you're not just coming, and McLaren, you're not just going to come out of Williams, you're not coming out of nowhere and just like running it up. It's not Fast and the Furious, right? And even Paul Walker dumped and killed the damn Eclipse, although DSM is trash. So I don't know how successful they're going to be, but I can tell you this. If you look at the Hennessy Venom, if you look at several other cars that they've manufactured, if you look at some of their racing engines, GM has made some powerhouses. They've made some things happen, all right? Don't forget, after they got the V6 turbo project running and together with Buick, it was phenomenal to the point where Chevy complained and GM had to make them shut it down because our premier clients buying Corvettes, which is supposed to be the iconic unicorn of our products, are out here getting beat by two-door heavy metal sedans. We can't have it. We can't have it. Big shout out to Kendrick, GNX. Go check out that album. So we got right here, OG Zilla says, time to send my resume to GM's F1. Bro, we sending resumes. OG Zilla, bro, I'm with you. I need to go ahead and send a resume right along with you, man. Baraka, OG Zilla, Mechanic Mercedes, Paul, Derwin, Wildcat, Racer X210. We all need to go ahead and send our resumes into General Motors Formula One division so we can go ahead and be part of this legacy, right? Take the building out of the garage and put it on the grid. I don't know how great that'll turn out either. But as we go in right here, we'll see Stefano Domenicali, General Motors and Cadillac commitment to this project is important and positive demonstration of evolution of our sport. We look forward to seeing the progress and growth of the application, certain of a full collaboration and support of parties involved. Ben, old slime, ass slim, General Motors, blah, who cares? Who cares what Ben says? Ben says a lot of foolishness these days. Who cares what Ben says? But, yo, this is absolutely something to be on the lookout for. I don't want to say celebrate it because it might be too early to celebrate. Let's just keep it a buck. It might be a little too early to celebrate because if this doesn't go down, we get all excited for nothing. And next thing we know, the deal's falling apart like Porsche. But right now, this does look pretty solid. It seems solid for Formula One to make that announcement in that way. But they did the same dress up, rolled out the red carpet, dog and pony show for Porsche. And then Porsche is no more. We even saw that Porsche had they trademarked, what was it, finally? They trademarked finally for nothing because they didn't even enter. So there was a lot of bells and whistles with Porsche being suspected to enter Formula One, and it didn't happen. So I don't want us to get all excited, but I'm just saying, if we see this thing, and you see what number they used, right? You see what number they used, right? Can anybody tell me right now what is the significance of the number 3 on that General Motors Cadillac car? Can anybody tell me that? Can anybody tell me what the significance of that number is? I just want to know. Can anybody let me know what the significance of that number is? Because I'm just telling you. What is the significance of that number? I just got to see if somebody's going to say it. Says, hopefully General Motors, Dale. Hopefully General Motors in sporting brings back the V8 engines. Ooh, I don't know about that. I tell you what, man. Oh, man. Damn, I don't know. I don't know if it brings back. That's right, Dale Earnhardt, baby. That's right, Dale Earnhardt. I mean, although a very aggressive and can be considered dirty driver, God bless his soul. It's unfortunate that he had an incident that he's no longer here. It did bring about the Hans device, which has saved a lot of people's lives. But he's still a historic, iconic, legendary NASCAR driver. So that is the significance to that number. And you can even tell by the font of the number 3, that is exactly where, you get that from. So it would be unbelievably awesome if this car comes out in this type of configuration. But I don't know if the V8 engines comes back. If you think about it, Chevy hasn't been somebody who's been real reluctant to fight against the going green situation, even in their production cars. Chevy has converted V8s to V6s and electrics and turbo. They've watered down a lot of their cars outside of the Corvette. Outside of the Corvette, they've watered down a lot. They've already started to agree with not making other certain car lines. Ford right now, as much as I don't like Ford, except for a couple of their products, they're the only ones that pretty much right now are standing true that they're not going to make a V6 Mustang. It's going to be V8. They're not leaving the V8. So I don't think GM does that. Nasty2 says Intimidator 3. That is true. Race X210 says General Motors finishes near the top 5 their first go. Hell no. Hell no. You think top 5 their first go? You think so? That means that you think they're going to beat out, that there's possible they're going to be in the mix with Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, and Red Bull? Bro, that's a steep mountain to climb. Not to mention Audi's still coming in. Not to mention the evolution of Haas. It seems to be getting better. But just right now, you think that General Motors comes in their first season and they're a top 5 team in the Constructors' Championship. If that happens, that is crazy. No, and I want people to understand something. I'm not saying Mustang doesn't have a V6. Every one of those brands have a V6. Ford is the one company that has declared they're not going to move away from V8s being in their muscle cars. Meanwhile, Chevy has not declared that just in the vet itself. That's what I'm saying. And if you got a V6 Mustang or Camaro, that's ass. Nasty Stu says Danny Rick might get a seat with GM. Dale was his hero. Man, I'm going to tell you right now. Racer X210, if what Nasty Stu just said is true, General Motors will not be a top 5 team. They will not be a top 5 team. They just won't. I'm just telling you right now. General Motors, if they bring Danny Rick in, they are not going to be a top 5 team their first season out. You can hang that up. That means you are totally giving up on that. I'm just telling you. You are totally giving up on that if you want to believe that. I just think that would be oof. I think that would be bad. That would be a bad hire. Although I would like to see an American driver in one of those cars. I would like to see an American driver in one of those cars. I'm just being straight up with you. I would definitely like to see that. So I'm excited. Let me see if I can find something real quick. Let me see if I can find something real quick, because you know we got all types of things going on right now. All right, so here it is right here. Here it is right here. Okay, I'm gonna bring this on screen. I'm gonna bring this on screen real quick. Let me bring this up. Where is it? Bring this out of here so y'all can see this. And let's see, docs, cancel. All right, if we look right here, I'm about to bring this on screen so y'all can see this, so y'all can see what I was talking about just briefly, like nothing big and all elaborate and official. We're just going to read a bit of this so you can see what I was talking about just to a certain degree on the verbiage in which I was mentioning and talking about Ford. Sometimes this is a pain in the ass. Truly is a pain in the ass. All right, here we go right here. Here we go right here. Okay, now if we look at this, says, and this was just at the beginning of this year, okay? Just at the beginning of this year, right here, Ford CEO Jim Farley confirmed that the V8-powered Mustang will not be discontinued anytime soon, leaving the Blue Oval with what seems like the last standing production V8 muscle car, assuming other modern muscle car manufacturers don't change their tune. And I can tell you right now that Chevy has been lightweight changing their tune. If you look at some of the Tahoes, or you look at some of the Silverado trucks, they're finding ways to get away from V8 power. All right. Now, I do not, and then some of them like Dodge and SRT, they're pretty much saying that they're probably going to stop making those lines. It won't be any more Chargers, won't be any more Hellcats or Demons or what was the other one? Hellcat, Demon, regular RT Chargers, saying they're probably going to stop making those. So I think it's commendable, although I don't care for Ford, that I like that traditional muscle cars, if they're not going to come V8 ready, they should not be manufactured anymore. I get tired of seeing production companies mess up iconic bloodline lineage muscle V8 cars. I do not like seeing V6 Mustangs, although I know V6 inline sixes back in the day were there. I don't like seeing them in these days, but they have to make them because they have to make sales. And not everybody can afford V8, and some people won't get the V8. Big shout out to Sylvia with Kelly. Please smash the like button. But no, General Motors is here. I like what we got going on. We're finally going to have a true representation of American on the grid. I think this is awesome. It will even be more awesome if it actually happens. It'll be more awesome if we see some type of testing when it happens. But Andretti seems to be out. Big shout out to Gregory. Big shout out to Mary Beanie popping in. Gregory seems to be out. Not Gregory, not you, Greg. You still in the family, brother. But Andretti seems to be out. I don't know if later on we see maybe they still play a role. Maybe they have some drivers. Maybe Colton Herta. Maybe I need to check and see what his super license is looking like. Maybe they bring in, I would like to see it, but I don't know if they're gonna bring Jamie Chadwick in. But I would like to see at least one of those seats belong to an American driver. One of those seats. And that would be absolutely awesome. So right now, what we had been thinking and awaiting to see as far as this Andretti livery is not the case anymore. Right now, what we can expect to see, or what we can anticipate safely to see, is that monster right there. And you, many others will love it. We have now 3 GPs in the United States of America. Now, remember what I told you when they first brought in Miami. Remember what I told you. I said it will not be long. Within a few years, we will either hear or they will be announcing the 4th GP in the United States. I believe Formula One wants to have a GP on every coast compass in the United States. North, South, East, and West. We have Miami, which technically that represents the Southern Hemisphere. We have Vegas, that is the West. And then we also have, well, actually, no, we have COTA, which is the Southern Hemisphere. We have Miami, which is more East. And then I believe they're going to go somewhere north. I don't know if it's going to be Indianapolis. I don't know what's going to be, where it's going to be, Kentucky. I don't know where it's going to be, but it's going to be more north. And that is what I think they will end up doing. Gregory Williams says, Jay, this is really going to happen. Man, Gregory, I think it is, man. I think it's more realistic to happen than maybe even what we saw with Porsche, because you got to think about this. Porsche was trying to come in and take over the Red Bull situation, right? They were trying to come in, pretty much be majority stake in Red Bull. That's a lot of red tape, because then Red Bull wants IP access, and Porsche's like, we ain't giving you that. You're not good enough for that. There was a lot of mixing in there. This is them. They've already been approved by the FIA. We were just waiting to see what was the holdup with Formula One. And I think maybe the holdup was, we don't want Andretti to be part of this deal. We don't want Michael Andretti smiling and gloating on camera that he finally made it happen, which I'm not completely agreeing with how that went down, but it is the case. I think that was a big part of that. Michael Andretti steps down. Zach Brown becomes some type of partial stakeholder along with several other people and Andretti, and they have like a different stake name. But here it is now, Cadillac GM Cadillac. That's it. Remember before it was supposed to be Andretti Cadillac. Andretti's out. Cadillac's still there. GM is now there. And that's a wrap. I think that's a wrap. So, yeah, I do think, Gregory, that this could possibly be something that would really be cool. OG Zilla says, off topic, any thoughts on allegations against Georgia's steering wheel movement? Ooh, man. I don't have any thoughts. I don't know. I won't say thoughts, because I do have some thoughts on that. I don't have any clear information on I'll tell you what. Let's table that for a second. It is off topic. It is off topic. I still need to develop what I kind of would want to say about that, because we start getting into a lot of other things that can be bridged into that, right? And we already have this dynamic that exists, because I'm already putting together a live to do about George Russell, Toto, and Lewis Hamilton, especially with some of the crap that Toto not too long ago just said. And if you really pay attention to what Toto said, it seemed like he didn't say a lot, but he said a lot. And what he said to me was pretty right on par for what the BS that Toto's been doing. So we can save that for sure. But, I mean, it's going to be a lot of situations coming about that. But George is going to have to be the man now. And I don't think George is going to be strong enough to lead Mercedes completely. But we will see. And a big shout out. Oh, thank you, Sylvia Witt Kelly. Appreciate that. Appreciate that big much. Thank you very much, Sylvia Witt Kelly. Appreciate you. Always there to do that. And Detroit GP will come. And that's another thing. We have Detroit, but I don't think they're going to go to Detroit. I don't think they're going to Detroit. I don't think Detroit has the infrastructure for it. I don't think they have the streets for it. I don't think it'll be in Detroit. Actually, they might. I don't think it'll be in Detroit, though. But it could be. It's not far from it, so that's not a bad decision already. So there are some things to be said about Chicago, honestly. And, you know, Chicago, Detroit, it's like kind of, they're all, I don't know if they'll do it, but it wouldn't, they would need to find, I wonder how they would go about that as far as the infrastructure and the placement and the build up, where it's going to be. I just probably would think they might come a little bit outside of the city areas because Miami was a headache. Las Vegas was a headache. Although Las Vegas has become a very nice event, it was a headache on the people that live there. And I will say this, there are a lot of properties in the Midwest area that have been on for sale. They've been trying to get rid of a lot of, and so I don't know. It's a lot of things to go. It's not my job. I don't do that job, but I would imagine there are probably a lot of obstacles like any other project, but just a tad bit more obstacles with some nuance to make that happen. So anyway, you all, this is what we got. This is what's been busted up before the end of the season. Didn't even wait till the off season. So that means in the off season, we should be hearing a little bit more about this entire deal that can go down. I am excited about that. I hope you're excited about that. Big shout out to everybody putting their name in. Oh, listen, I got news. I checked the tracking today. Evidently, Insured Frames never signed for the Lewis Hamilton card. So it said it is on its way back to me. So that means that the giveaway has just leveled up. Since Insured Frames did not sign for the card, did not receive the card, the collector's item, I am not going to send it back out twice to one person. If it comes back, it goes back up for grabs. So that means this, ladies and gentlemen, that means that everybody just right now, and I'm going to read off these names: OG Zilla, Gregory Williams, Sylvia Witt Kelly, Nasty Stu, Racer X210, Nasty Stu, OG Zilla, Nasty Stu, Bajan. All of those people just now put their names in the hat for a Lewis Hamilton collector's item, which will be two. There are going to be two Lewis Hamilton collector item cards involved in this now. You're going to get the keychain, you're going to get the die-cast car, and you're going to get the Wolfpack drawstring bag. So that is now 5 items that are going to be in this giveaway. 5 items. 2 Lewis Hamilton collector item cards, Gem Mint 10, the die-cast car, the Wolfpack keychain, and the Wolfpack drawstring bag. So I'm going to have to redo this whole thing so you all can see all the stuff that's going to get in there. So this is going to be a banger. So everybody doing super chats, your name gets in there. The more super chats you do, the more your name gets in there, because the level of the prize just went up to 5 times the giveaway. Just went up to 5 times the giveaway. I'm just telling you. Yo, I told y'all, if you don't sign for it, and I got a notification today says it's coming back, it's going to get put into this package. So somebody's going to get an even bigger package right now. And I'm just keeping it a bug with you. When it gets back, I'll redo this image, making sure that it gets back. And then I will show you everything that you have to win by AD 2021. Finale Lap AD 2021 is where we're going to spin the wheel. All the names of all the people that have contributed super chats into this drawing, their name will be on the wheel, and we're going to spin it, and we're going to make it happen. And not only that, I might just add a couple of more things in there. Couple of more things for additional people. So we'll spend for 3 times for 3 people to have getting something. But that means if you win one prize, your name comes off the wheel completely, giving everybody a fair chance to have a new name, and then that name will come off. But this is exciting. So I hope that you all are ready for this, because the moment I get it, I will update this giveaway poster, and we will be game on, people. Game on. So big shout out to everybody pulling up for the live chat. Big shout out to everybody who is excited about this news. Sylvia Witt Kelly says, boom, my name in again. Oh, Sylvia Witt Kelly says, put my name on that. I got 5 on it. Too bad, so sad. Y'all funny as hell. Y'all like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that prize. We got Andretti news. We got extra giveaways. Oh yeah, I'm getting off on all that. So big shout out to everybody pulling up to the live. You know, I'm always trying to find a way to get back to y'all. I appreciate y'all that y'all always kick it. Y'all keep it real. Y'all come here, have a good time. All the haters, you know, y'all love you here too. Y'all just hate that it ain't another channel that y'all can do what we do. That's all it really is. So anyway, we will see y'all soon. Wolfpack out. Peace.